We were told that with the right balance, we could have it all: a great career, a happy family, and personal time. But if that's true, then why does life still feel overwhelming? Imagine this. It's Monday morning. Your alarm goes off, and you're instantly pulled into the chaos of the day. Coffee in one hand, phone in the other. Emails flood in before you've even had a chance to fully wake up. You rush through breakfast, attend back-to-back meetings, try to squeeze in a quick workout, and promise yourself that tonight you'll spend quality time with your family. But the hours slip away, and by evening, you're too exhausted to be present. Still, you tell yourself, tomorrow, I'll get the balance right. But what if tomorrow is no different? What if each day is just another attempt at balancing a life that feels like a delicate tower of spinning plates? One misstep, and it all comes crashing down. For years, we've been told that there's a formula, a perfect recipe for juggling everything, but each time we try, the pieces fall apart. For decades, we've been sold a dream, the dream of work-life balance. The idea that, with the right routine, a bit of discipline, and enough motivation, we can perfectly juggle our careers, personal lives, hobbies, relationships, and self-care. We're told we can have it all as long as we master the art of balance. But let me ask you, has anyone ever shown you this perfectly balanced life? Have you met someone who effortlessly manages their career without sacrificing family time, who pursues their passions without neglecting their responsibilities, who maintains perfect mental health despite the pressures of daily life? Or is it more likely that the people you admire, the ones who seem to have it all together, are just better at hiding their struggles? The truth is, this concept of work-life balance is a carefully crafted illusion. It's a mirage we chase in the desert of modern existence, where we're conditioned to believe that with the right techniques, we can achieve a state of perfect equilibrium. But just like any mirage, the closer we get, the more it disappears. We spend our lives running after this mirage, thinking we'll finally get it, only to feel more disconnected when it remains out of reach. And this illusion doesn't just make us chase an impossible dream, it also makes us feel like failures. Because in our pursuit of balance, we're constantly measuring ourselves against a fantasy. We feel guilty for missing a child's school event because of a work deadline. We feel ashamed for skipping a workout because we're too tired. We feel anxious because our personal goals always seem to take a back seat. We measure our lives against this ideal, and when we inevitably fall short, we feel inadequate. This isn't just a personal struggle, it's a societal one. Companies promote the idea of work-life balance to attract talent, but in reality, employees are expected to be always available. Social media bombards us with images of people living balanced lives, CEOs who meditate at sunrise, parents who bake with their kids after work, fitness enthusiasts who maintain perfect bodies despite demanding careers. But these are just curated moments, tiny fragments of a much messier reality. No one posts their breakdowns, their frustrations, or the true cost of these seemingly perfect lives. And here's the worst part. The pursuit of balance often becomes a burden in itself. We end up obsessing over how to balance our lives, rather than simply living them. We try to time manage our way to happiness, squeezing our joy into 30-minute slots, while guilt looms over any moment of rest we allow ourselves. In a world that demands so much of us, we've forgotten how to just be. So, what if we're looking at this all wrong? What if the problem isn't our inability to achieve balance, but the very idea of balance itself? What if life isn't meant to be a perfectly balanced scale, but a series of flowing moments, where sometimes work takes the lead, sometimes family does, and others where self-care demands our focus? As we begin this journey, I want you to question everything you've been told about balance. What if the very thing you're striving for doesn't exist? What if balance is just a comforting story we've told ourselves so we can feel in control? Because in a world that never stops, in a life where priorities constantly shift, perhaps the pursuit of balance is nothing more than a beautifully packaged myth. A myth we hold on to because it gives us the illusion of control in an otherwise chaotic world. And today, we're here to uncover the truth. To understand the myth of work-life balance, we must first travel back in time to the heart of the industrial age. This was a world defined by factories, rigid schedules, and a clear divide between work and home. Workers clocked in at sunrise and clocked out at sunset. The factory bell was a signal that work was over and personal life could begin. Life was compartmentalized, and for many, this separation was a necessity. But as the decades passed, society evolved. The industrial age gave way to the information age, and with it came a radical shift. Offices replaced factories, and work became less about physical labor and more about mental exertion. But more importantly, technology began to transform everything. The telephone allowed business conversations to happen across miles. The computer brought work to our desks. And then the internet did something even more profound. It erased the boundaries of time and space. Suddenly, work was no longer confined to the walls of an office or the hours of a shift. Emails could arrive at midnight, and tasks could follow you home. The smartphone became a portable office, a constant reminder that you were always reachable, always available. The promise of flexibility, which was meant to be a blessing, quickly became a burden. And alongside this technological revolution came the rise of a new cultural phenomenon: hustle culture. We were told that success meant working harder, faster, and longer. Productivity became a badge of honor, and phrases like "rise and grind" and "sleep is for the weak" became mantras. The line between work and life blurred. But instead of balance, we found ourselves trapped in a cycle of constant striving. We're chasing more and more productivity in the name of success, only to end up burnt out, questioning whether it's all worth it. But even as this shift unfolded, society clung to the comforting idea of work-life balance. Companies began to promote it as a perk: work from home, flexible hours, mental health days. Yet these were often just surface-level solutions to a much deeper problem: the problem of a world where work had become ever-present, seeping into every corner of our lives. The promise of balance, that we could seamlessly juggle career, family, hobbies, and self-care, became a seductive lie. A marketing slogan sold to exhausted workers. A mirage offered to those longing for a sense of control. But beneath it all, one question remained. If the world has changed so much, can the idea of balance still make sense? Perhaps the real problem isn't that we're failing to achieve balance, but that we're chasing a concept that was never meant for this chaotic, interconnected world.